On live. This video is more for interaction. Matter of fact, happy now. Now is a vibrate, of course. You already know what time it is. It's no time at all. Learn these lessons. Always realizing every single person around you is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. The whole reason why I'm in Louisiana is because of the vibe inside of myself wondering, should I be in Louisiana or in LA? Like it's no coincidence. I know, oh, the universe has a, because sometimes we may say it like that, like, the universe got something bigger or something different planned. But that's us falling into that vibe of forgetting that, we create. Of course, we co-creating with others, but we create every single thing within our existence. Every single thing. Tori Indigo, what's up, what's up? Matter of fact, y'all, feel free to ask any questions. I do my best to answer it if I can. Wellness and abundance to you, timekeeper, old seller. Matter of fact, connecting with fam lately. More so a vibe too for me to, stand my ground in situations, because one of those things where, when we could be overwhelmed by, lower vibrational energies in that sense, and again, as I'm saying, it's not saying like lower vibrations is not a bad or good thing, it's just lower vibrations, but because the fam, some of still eat meat, drink alcohol, a bunch of different things, but it's making sure we set them boundaries, like, and sometimes that could be, a lot of work. How do I feel about law of gender in society? As far as like the hermetic principle, like everything has gender. You're saying how it plays out in society. If that's your question in essence. I mean, everything has gender. Everything, is either male or female in the way its energy is. Down to a straight line being masculine, a curved line, being feminine. A noise like a constant, like t, the, g, j, like sounds that kind of like have like a start and stop, like a line, compared to a sound that's like ooh, ah, curvy like a female, so yeah, everything has gender. And as far as like with society, like I'm just diplomatic where I don't and I even say diplomatic, it's not like I'm lying about it. I do keep it real. Like but there's few souls that come down here that's like just straight up androgynous on some God shit, like but for the most part, a lot of the homosexual vibes, if not pushed by, the Greco-Roman culture, it was started through all the poisons they've been implementing on us since the beginning, all them needles that they've been hitting us with since birth, and basically hitting us with, all the pharmaceuticals, and all this passed down through our parents and stuff like that. Because we are beings that never dealt with that at all. So you gotta think from that perspective. Like, we beings that, how you see indigenous people not fucking around with none of this bullshit we fucking around with. Like, we beings of that nature. Like, we, normally be barefoot outside, not fucking poisoned by Wi-Fi and phytoestrogen and Similac and shit like that. Matter of fact, you're not even drinking milk from something else. You're drinking milk from a human, from your mom. You know, there's so many things that we do and we're taught to do fucked up that causes, a lot of the sicknesses that we call a social norm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because some, it's a fact that some brethren or sister kind of like mentally ill, like with the homosexuality. You know, some not. Again, there's very few, and the whole thing about everything is about us accepting everybody how they are, but at the same time acknowledging truth. Because here it is. I won't go around, like, matter of fact, from relatives down to a brethren I know that ain't a blood relative, but I beat the shit out of somebody if they clown them, like, or call them, gay or something like that in a derogatory way. That's like my little brother. So it ain't nothing with them vibes. But again, the government pushing, and there's a fact that they've been pushing chemicals on us to alter what is our true way of existing. And that's when we gotta stop, like, trying to play that new age spirituality. I don't see color card, or that's more so played so we won't do our history and acknowledge, acknowledge where certain bullshit come from. Like, again, I don't hate Romans and people who started homosexuality, but I'm gonna definitely point out that hey, that's where this comes from. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta get things in perspective. But you know. Is it harder for me to stay in alignment around family? Uh, to a certain extent, but nah, like that's why I'm back here too, like, realizing, like, just a lot of the stuff, like, especially in Louisiana, like, a lot of the stuff that we do by default, even in our ignorance, be close to some godly type of shit. So as much as, like, people around here may do stuff that's ignorant you know, uh, to chakras and crystals and stuff like that, it's still other natural things of ways that we do things that's like a connect. Like I caught the download too, like, part of me being able to eat, like, this gumbo and red beans and all this meat I was able to eat was because of, like, the energy of us coming together and the love that's put into it. You know what I'm saying? Because again, at the end of the day, and then too, we're from a place where people actually do their own, butchering and stuff anyway. So it's like, it's not like it's we're gonna let some company, butcher the meat and this and that. Like, people around here, raise animals, up and eat it from that essence. Like, and I tell people, it's just about giving thanks and eating meat in moderation. Because meat can become cancerous, and it could weigh down on the pineal gland a lot. But in moderation, uh, it's not harmful, and to each his own. With that vibe. But yeah, around family, I don't know. For me, it was just going with the flow of things, and just like, clowning, but then still keeping my little ground. Like, if they went to probably clowning about somebody, I'm like, I ain't going there with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, standing my ground, because that's another thing too. To the point where, you know, they get to the point now where I know Lil Kari don't want to hear this, like, because they know they about to say some shit that's probably, of the negative vibration, so, also them knowing, what's up. I tell my cousins about me being sensitive to energy and clairvoyance and shit. Like, I don't, you know, like, I do everybody, just like how I talk to a kid. like when I think about how I was interacting with my little nephews and cousins, like how they, like the ages between what, let's say from 12 on down to about 5 or something like that. But just, you know, talking to them, straight up like they grown and like they, and that's how I talk to, family members who may not study all this. Like, it's like, shit, I tell it to them in that manner, like, you may not believe this, but look, this is what it is. Just letting you know. You don't have to believe it. But, we from a place, though, again, not too far from where Marie Laveau. So it's much, as a matter of fact, what's funny is, like, our fucking family, like, my great-grandfather is, like, blacker than ties. Lucius Toussaint, straight from Haiti. So the energy in the family. But we ain't nothing but ain't nothing but mutts out here in Louisiana. From white, black, because it's funny, as much as they got the weird little racism out here, in our little area, so a lot of mulatto people, as some people like to say. That's kind of like what our family is, because matter of fact, I just got dark whenever I, like, from being in Louisiana and then in LA recently, but like I'm really light skinned. you know. So, crazy white folk is my kin folks too. you That's why I just more and more to realize how much this, again, I do realize, melanin and carbon, it does have its relevance, like, I look at sports and, shit like that. But, like, just at the end of the day, bro, we all, like, these little body suits, man. You got people in Louisiana that just because shit was so racist, they again, because that's why you got the one drop rule, because the kind of like once you one drop of black, then you're black type of vibe. But like some people who in essence would be considered black or mulatto, but because they could pass so good for white shit, it's like, hey, we're gonna sign up for it. Shit, we're gonna sign up for not getting hung and not getting ass whipping. Like, I'm just a realist like that, matter of fact. Like we got the irony within our family where there's actually a family member that owned other family members, like on some shit. Like, so this shit out here is like, I found a way deep. But, yeah, definitely, vibing with the family is, and another thing too, like, I feel like to be at a certain place spiritually, like how God interacts with all of itself at the end of the day. I mean, of course, you know, there's extended fractals of sorts that we deal with more than the actual, but I mean, it all is everything, again, that's just us creating little concepts to grasp certain little, areas of the information, but, I forgot where I was going with that. Something with family. But before I stay too long on that. Yeah, blessings, y'all, who I ain't spoke to. How do I feel about monogamy? What's monogamy? That's one. That's like a two people together type of thing, or that's more than one person. Matter of fact, cause it's funny. People be like, I'm so like I'm different. Like as much as I like, so it's I came down here with unique experiences to be unique for a reason. Cause like a lot of like super cultural things like or just social things like monogamy, polygamy, this and like if you notice like that ain't my cup of tea. Like I'm either like in some matter of fact, like a lot of the human stuff, that's what I like to call it. And I'm not knocking your question or so don't but it's funny. Like I'm not like we source down here for experience, whatever floats your boat on that vibe, whatever floats you and whoever you're dealing with. Nah, and again, that don't mean no in it what feels right to your soul. I ain't saying like oh no, just give in to your lower nature where you're giving in to your lower nature and not really doing nothing divine. I'm talking about like following your heart and going with the flow. I've been having visions since a little kid, like on some trying, like this was never from the eyes of trying to be a player or like, oh, I'm gonna have all kind of women. Like, matter of fact, it was more about the kids. Like, it was like having a kid of different nationalities, all right, this is whatever. But like, and I don't know, it just I always felt that vision. That's partly why I was wondering if I was like, but I think I was I don't know, because I was thinking if I was Bob Marley reincarnated, because there's so many different little signs, you know. Well, I was wondering, but I'm like, nah, I think he's just we just from the same tribe or something. Well, I mean, I know what it is, but not getting far off into it. But for myself though, like, I mean, if one woman, like, if I don't, bro, cause that Sag energy, not wanting to be tied down, bro, that's real serious, though. And then even on the Capricorn energy, cause signs is close to each other, share some type of similarity. Even that area is kind of like a little standoffish about relationship. Like the bullshit about like you don't even tell a Capricorn you're going on a date. You got back we're going or the going study or do some do some shit and then just turn it into a date. Does long hair increase your supernatural senses? I mean, from what I was, I'm gonna give you both. Like from what I was taught, you know, yeah, like it's extension of almost like antennas and almost like not say of your brain in essence, but you know, just the I guess what I'm trying to say is just the energy or just wisdom, you know what I'm saying, extended, and I just heard, from the Rasta vibes and then from the indigenous tribes, in the quote unquote Americas, you know, uh, the long hair brought, like a certain type of wisdom, you know, like, and I don't know, for myself, I don't know, I do feel like something something comes from my dreads. I think that's why a lot of times, uh, I like to keep them in my hat, which I've been wearing them loose a lot lately, but like intuitively feeling the vibe of not just letting anybody touch my hair, like run up on me. Shout out to Lizzie Jeff. uh, for she had an Instagram post about that. Matter of fact, go check her out. She do music. She she with the vibes. But oh, I hear that fence moving. I know that's one of y'all. I'm talking to a raccoon, y'all. So, but greetings. What's the origin on the true G? Oh, come on, Lucid Blah. I gotta do that one. Let me see. All right, let me see how many. Oh, I'm behind. Hold on. Let's see. I'll come back to it if it's. Oh, blessings, Mr. West. All right. Yeah, matter of fact, I got one. Oh yeah. And again, like I'm a person where I understand that God is everything, and we transcend, you know, uh, colors at the end of the day. But because of the fact that we have some people that haven't transcended, you know, and more so, hold on, more so off of the vibe of, again, like I tell people, the jig is up on social engineering and little keywords. So when I hear that phrase, I ain't gonna lie, that phrase is like, I get what you're saying though, Sonny the Aquarius. I get what you're. But motherfucker would know what crystals, like, shit. I don't see color. Then what? All the crystals just all alike. That's like, you know, source. We talk about source and creating uniqueness, but then, like, matter of fact, I tell people, I'm like, that's even more ignorance. Is almost like saying, well, let me not see color because I can't acknowledge it without not being racist. Because, say, for instance, I could acknowledge color and see color without being racist, you know? Like, so that's why that little phrase kind of don't even, it's like, shit, I, I see I see colors. But I'm not, I don't hate this blue appetite because it's blue. I don't hate this yellow citrus because it's yellow. I do see that one is yellow and one is blue, you know? Like, you know, the stomach shouldn't hate the kidneys because it's different. You know, the body don't hate the red blood cells because it's not white blood cells. You know, it's different things, as above, so below. This body has different colors and textures and things that distinguish, But, as a matter of fact, reason why I just had to make sure I cleared that, because, again, dealing with this social engineering vibe, like, we gotta clear things up. As a matter of fact, that's another thing too. It's all right for us to disagree too. That's another thing about being down here that get misconceptualized with the new age shit. Like we ain't all gotta agree with each other. You know, just because just because we stop eating meat don't make us holy. You know, it's like it's more than it's all kind of different works. You know. I caught some strong deja vu today. That's funny you brought that up, but it's not funny. Like violence. Oh yeah, with the long hair thing, I remember they did some type of experiment with some native brethren, and like when they cut their hair, they could navigate the land like how they could whenever they had their hair long. But blessing, blessing. On 11. Yes, I do sun gaze, but the real sun is inside of us. Every a reminder, like this is all a matrix. Again, it it's a we acting in a movie. You know, just watch the Truman Show. That's the Truman Show. Matter of fact, especially, what I'm saying, be careful. Now that we know that for sure that LSD is a part of the MK Ultra and mind control schemes. Plus I'm not suggesting taking anything, but the Truman Show, boy, that'll give you some realizations out of this world. Shit, just watching it with an open pioneer, to be honest with you, because again, like just watching it, you you'll definitely uh, feel like that. Like this seems familiar. I mean, I know that they constantly using every form of divination, whatever you want to call it, like as far as like numerology, gematria, like making sure they sign certain papers on certain days, and certain people they elect got certain names that add up to a certain amount. Yeah, like all that go into all the shit, you know. That's the whole that's the whole game. Check out Gil Scott Heron's song Day and Night. It was not even a song, it's like a poem. Like, like motherfuckers trying to kill us. Day and night. Day and night. You know. Yeah, definitely, being as clear as possible. Those 811. Yeah, meditation definitely. But all right, peace, peace. Do I astral travel? Uh, Matter of fact, somebody asked me this last time. It's more in the sense of like I'm good. I'm real good at remote viewing, like being in one place and kind of viewing somewhere else. Uh, I'm starting to kick back into like moving with my astral body, but like I'm mostly good at remote viewing. That's more so, again, I just talked about this in a video recently. That's because I'm still dealing with as far as like going to sleep and eating right before I sleep, you know. But again, all the, everything is mental, all is mind, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes even when I eat, like I work with some high vibrational crystals, like matter of fact, like Danbarite and Petalite, you know, and then say a little affirmation like I'm lucid dreaming regardless of eating this food. I know I'm capable of doing any and all things, you know what I'm saying? Like, with disclaimer, you know, because I constantly work on my subconscious, you know, that's what what I use, you know. You would have to find your own, you know. Oh, NASA. Operation Paperclip. They took the Nazis straight from the Holocaust to start off NASA. Maybe that's why the word NASA so close to Nazi. Matter of fact, the Ashkenazi Jews was you know, the ones who they came at, and their name got Nazi in it. In a universe with no coincidences. Oh man. It's getting too obvious. Like even now, like uh here it is what I'm watching TV with the football, and you know they got the, you know, and again, much love and to all souls that transition, you know, but just showing you again how this was pushed on TV and media and subconscious programming, and how, you know, the racism just getting blatant. But like how they, I think they had this recent shooting at this church or whatever, this, you know, synagogue or something like that, you know, and they, like, I saw a football game or something giving like little moments of silence and bringing it up all the time, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I wonder why they didn't do that for when that, you know, that white virgin shot up the little black church in I forgot, North Carolina somewhere. Like why the NFL and all these little sporting events didn't, you know. And it, again, you know, it's just because the main thing is realizing, you know, awareness of what's going on, you know what I'm saying? So you know what you got to do, you know what to focus and what not to focus on. Because now you get why Donald Trump the president, because he ain't nothing but a big troll. when people go to bring up that, I'm like, man, that bedroom ain't nothing but a big troll trying to stop the inevitable from happening. It's all gone. Have I ever had braces? No, I never had braces. Appreciate the compliment, though. Oh yeah, connecting with certain beings telepathically, from beings with, from people in the physical and outside the physical, you know, because a lot of times, I tell people, man, you know, a lot of us capable of these abilities, like just some of us awakening certain abilities earlier than others, some more heightened in some abilities than others, but in some form or fashion, everybody got some type of form of clairvoyance, unless your pioneer completely, calcified. Have a deity ever contacted you? Kali Ma came in one of my most vivid. uh, Was it a dream or was I on DMT? I can't remember. Might have been a dream. And like she basically did me like how she wearing them heads around her neck. Like I think I was too in my ego, you know. And and I think I did that affirmation. It's one of them affirmations I think I might have spoke on when I did the affirmations, but about like a purgatory, like a purging type of kalima, you know, mantra. But what I was gonna say, oh yeah, like she just grabbed me and sliced me in half, like just threw my flesh to the side, like like some shit. But then Oshun, me and Oshun, then me and Oshun had some personal relations. But just again, energies, because I felt like it was more than, I don't know, like more than just her energy in essence. Marijuana, if used in ways, I mean, smoking it, smoking herb, you could amplify things, but that's almost like a piece of crystal quartz. It could, matter of fact, it was funny, like, because it has THC crystals on it, and you know, like crystal quartz, it could amplify for the better or the worse. I'm gonna say better or worse, but like you could get very paranoid, or you could, or you could, be in an extremely meditative state with nothing outside your realm of, where you at bothering, but I'm a realist with my own experience, like maybe like only when I've done like a, excuse me, very clean wax, like the THC like wax, like instead of the actual herb. And when I do the herb, like the cleaner vibe is like from a bone, like you know, that's the vibes of like where, you know, it had more of a cleaner, you know. Cause I tell people that tobacco ain't nothing but, you know, and I keep it real about me smoking cigarillos. I'm like, that's just for that fucking nostalgia of that's what I grew up on. And it's just for that vibe of, you know, feeling that tobacco indirectly. You know, tobacco full of chemicals. That's why I tell people, look, we all on different parts of our growth, you know. Like I don't never stunt like that's why I tell people too, you know, it's not no competition and it's not just doing one thing that makes us spiritual. Again, like it's not like stop eating meat makes us spiritual or growing dreads makes us spiritual or playing with crystals makes us spiritual or going to yoga makes us spiritual. Like it's you know a little deeper, you know. I appreciate y'all being in here too, man. Blessings, much love. I, I, matter of fact, the choice in voting comes down to voting like where I'm from, like in this little city called Opelousas, Louisiana. Voting counts when it comes to aldermen and mayor and stuff like that. Like matter of fact, to the point where I'm like, if I could vote, I go vote. I vote for stuff like that because it really do count. You actually see like, oh, this many people turn out and voted for such and such. It's almost like a little drum roll, like, you know, compared to that fixed ass bullshit that people still putting they trust in. But that's more like now you're starting to see like how this motherfucker like North Korea is people really putting their trust in this shit or they just scared and just doing the shit because they scared to they don't know how to back out of the shit. And I'm not trying to clown nobody because that is, you know, when they talk about being strong on a spiritual, you know, journey and stuff like that, you know, that's part of it. But it's not like we out here, you know, trying to save the world in the essence of like, you know, like it should be something like we're doing what you love in some way, form, or fashion, you know, could service somebody else, you know. I always use the analogy, you know, of the birds chirping, you know, and somebody could record that bird and be like, oh man, that's a motherfucking hit. Somebody could be like, oh man, that bird singing changing my life, you know, whatever. Somebody could hate that bird singing, you know, but that bird just doing what it loves, singing. I gotta save a little bit for when I watch my anime. Watching I finished Soul Eater. Matter of fact, I don't know. I gotta do a video on that. I think. uh, yeah, I have used alcohol for spiritual reasons. Cinco de Mayo, I pulled up with my ancestors. I sipped something with with my two uncles that like to drink a lot. My cousin and my pops who transitioned. Like I pull and shit. Who else? I think I pulled for Papa Legba. Uh, gave the Ogun like strong rum, but it depends on what I feel coming through. Like if I feel that that energy is like all right, cup for you too. You know. But I didn't make her mad. It's just that's another thing too. You know, I know that I'm not, ruled by no type of God, you know, like so. I know all these different gods, again, some of them have, energy personified to, in essence, be, an energy that moves, outside of us, in essence, as above, so below, just like the zodiac signs, the star systems in our body, and also outside, you know. Man, look. What you say too many faces. Wait. Yeah, I appreciate the gesture. What was I like before? I mean, let's see. Just more of a knucklehead, I guess. A little more stubborn, as far as like listening to others or anything. Cause I'm still like that on my spiritual growth. Like the reason why, like I go through little vibes, too, is because I learned through experience. But again, experience is the best teacher. Like after you learn from experience, you know what you're dealing with. But I definitely I tell people that fallen angel vibe, man. A lot of people do a lot of drugs because they like probably have heightened abilities and shit like that, and nobody gonna understand or know what's up, and they questioning like why they here, like, and people give them school for I don't know how many years without telling you how your body or how your spiritual body really operate, and the religion ain't telling you how your body really operate on a spiritual level. It's like, fuck this, man. I'm doing drugs. That's why they always depict angels like from what I think about Spawn or just any the movie or show where they like might be drinkers or doing drugs or some shit. Like this place ain't my home. What the fuck? But what's some ways of programming the subconscious? Sigil, sigil magic. I got two, at least two videos on sigil magic. It's like making your own symbols because the the subconscious is programmed by symbols. Doing things by repetition. But again, our words kind of work. I mean, it works in essence through a lot of repetition. But oh and shit, go check out my last two recent videos on subconscious programming too. You know, because I'm just kind of touching on a few things. But if you really want, I just sit there and bust it open. But like while I'm here though, something else I want to say. Oh, that's kind of like what altar work is. That's kind of working. With our subconscious. Again, because it's the symbology of doing altar work. That in essence, activates certain energies that manifest certain energies. You know, so that's kind of a few ways and kind of because it also comes through trauma. But most of the repetition. Is it possible to have spiritual orgasm? Yes, of course. Chi. No, I definitely was a strong vibe. Kind of was the reason why I was able to eat how I was able to eat. Like the reason why I was able to eat gumbo and red beans and rice. Like, cause I had some help eating it. Let's just say that. Some V-Bucks. Was it difficult? No, it wasn't difficult to transition into being a vegan because, matter of fact, being from Louisiana, man, all we eat is all kind of animals around here, and like I was definitely ready for something, different and cleaner, because, matter of fact, I was drinking a lot, so my liver was tore up. So I had, matter of fact, I be making sure cause I drank a little wine over the weekend. I make sure I do my little sound healing for the liver, which again, though, I do for the whole body, cause you want to clear everything out. But it wasn't that hard at all, especially once I made it to LA, and everything is just, right there at your disposal. As a matter of fact, then you really start to see how much it is like I don't know them big words for all these little terminologies, but just like how they don't have shit in the hood, you know, and like being able to attain that, man, that makes a difference, being knowledgeable. I was just ready for a change in my life in general too. So it's like anything, different. The quartz crystal, just one of the things I always tell people, just having awareness that it amplifies energies, you know, in general, and like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like it could sway negative energy or positive energy. So like dealing with quartz, you might want to have another crystal, with it that may, promote positive vibe. Like, say, things like a tourmaline or a rose quartz, something that transmute negative energy. You got something that kind of blocks it. You got something that absorbs. You got some of them that transmute. You know, like absorbing meaning soak it up like a sponge, and you gotta, basically clear it out. You got some that just constantly block and don't take in nothing. Like a citrine or a kyanite. Then you got some that just the only thing I could think of right quick is like rose quartz that transmute the negative energy into positive energy. You know, and it's all due to molecular structures and elemental makeups, however you want to say it. I mean, is it really somebody you don't know, or you mean like you don't know as in like you haven't met them face to face? Because I mean, a lot of times we may have just like a movie, have like some little stunt double, some people that we don't really know in our dream, and that's it. At least I done had something, and in the dream, to we all have varying experiences, of course, but Nah, I haven't read it yet. Klaus Kinski. One more question about twin flames. You know, from the gist of what I get about twin flames, you know, it's like basically like a soul spark that, you know, come from the same soul. You know, like basically like oh, I don't know the music too much. uh, so basically, you know, again, like well, a male, in which you know, in most cases, I just think, yeah, I just say two souls, you know, because it may not be like a relationship in essence as much. Like, of course, it may be like, well, you know, if it's male and female, you know, but it's like y'all so much alike that y'all kind of repel each other, you know. And like I've seen flashes of that. I think with certain people, it's like the energies of y'all being the same is so overbearing that one gonna run away from the other, or vice versa. You know, like, but again, that you know, that's from what I've you know heard, you know, and as I've seen from my own experiences, and you know, talked with other people, you know, it seems like that may be a very plausible, you know, explanation. Oh man. How long did it take? It didn't take anything. I was hearing my spirit guides and higher self since I came out the womb, in essence. Like, you know, all them fake ass shots and all that Dimetap and codeine for my cough syrup as a little kid, and I say codeine, whatever they was giving us, you know, like all that shit, kind of threw it off a little bit, but because even when I was fucking up, I always heard my higher self tell me like, "Don't do it, don't do it," and I'm like, and I come back to like, man, you was right, you was right. You know, like I always give out the example of like a perfect example, like with my spirit guides was really just like, you know, it was when the church situation with confession, and I'm like, all right, like my higher self, like I'm like I consort with my higher self, you know. I know I already be apologizing, you know what I'm saying? In essence, with myself, and like, you know, damn, I should have done this or this and that. Like, why the hell I gotta go tell this to a man who a preacher only because he he crossed the stage at some I don't know if they crossed the stage, but he graduated from some preacher academy, you know, where they actually learn about all different religions before they go teach people about just one, you know, which that shit is crazy. I'm like, damn, you know, but why I gotta go tell my my sins? The fuck? I'm like, man, Catholic religion just with a lot of stuff that's just too dogmatic. It's like it just screams humans too much. It's like this don't sound like God. This don't sound like the place and the energy I was just dealing with where I just come from. Like, nah. Yo, Earth is a spiritual school. It's a movie. It's a prison. It's all kinds of prison for the human. Oh yeah, I'm I'm pretty high, not too. Word. We'll see.
Bluetooth connection successful.
Oh, Zydeco. I don't know. I'm just really like. Matter of fact, my eyes have got a little dry for a second. But it's so much still Jakaya night. That means it's just it's it's gone. You know, it's like I say, it's just like with any we move like planets, stars. Like the constellations. You know, 1 minute Mercury over here in this constellation, and then the next few days is off over here. Saturn taking 30 years to make a full orbit in our house. It's like it's all different movements, and with the inner as above, so below. With our crystals is the same thing. I had to catch myself. Sometimes I be trying to talk too fast. All right. Peace, peace. Yes, I am single. Chilang, you missed that. I broke that down earlier about the monogamy thing. Man, boy, it's trolling in here. I feel somebody trolling with that Jesus crap. No, I haven't a green and back to back quartz. Haven't had those. Uh, Planet Nibiru is more so like a energy within us, you know. As above, so below. Like again, anything that's trying to get us to over focus outside of us, you know. As a matter of fact, that's why like I'm telling like people straight up that's trolling with that Jesus stuff, like like nah, we ain't playing. Like any, cause matter of fact, cause again, anything or anybody trying to get you to overly chase or wait on some deity to save you or anything of that nature, like that's almost matter of fact. Uh, I was like Bobby Boucher mama from Waterboy. That's the devil, right? But yeah, the planet Nibiru, you know, Nibiru. Yeah, that energy, you know. The year 2020. That's the year. I just I gotta keep it real though. Like man, none of them games. Do do something. DOZ A11. Do something that you love to do. Like that's the whole thing about being in the now. Like it's like doing something that you. And again, to your best of your ability, if you happen to be like somewhere where it's like, damn, you got to sit through a situation where you're not really favoring the now, you accept what is, and then from that moment on, you know what you got to do to, constantly in your now to change that situation. But other than getting on that level with it, just to stay in the now, even with thoughts coming your way, just again doing something that really, that you really love. Because when you're doing something you really love, like reading a good book or watching some type of I don't know, some type of whatever, you know, just doing something, riding a bike, going, just doing whatever, you know what I'm saying, that it is that you love to do on some type of level. And as you practice that, you're gonna constantly realize how you're gonna be so indulged in what you're doing. You never really even had time for no type of thought to even, pop up. if it's extremely bad, then it's more meditation. And when you go to meditate, that don't mean that the noise gonna just go away as soon as you start. It takes time for that. It takes when you first starting off, it's just like with anything. It's like just starting to lift weights for the first time. You're not gonna pick up the most weights in the weight room. You just start lifting. You know. That's a whole vibe. What's going on today? Just constant spike in the shamanic resonance. Feeling the shifting in the lower chakras. Oh yeah. Look, it's on tour as long as you as if you know, as long as you know that I'm being straight up and real and not dealing with no propaganda or nothing like that, or however, we definitely could work. But I'm not promoting no propaganda, no way, form, or fashion. Not even playing the game of like, oh, let's act like, I ain't saying again, I'm not, I'm just speaking. Matter of fact, that's that gumbo. And matter of fact, you see what's real. So intuition, instantly as I said that, I instantly caught like my higher self was like, there's that that earthiness, like, and just that you could just say the lower nature of, and I say lower nature, but I mean, root chakra energy in essence of like just being strong, like in the masculinity, you know. Definitely see a difference. Cassandra, I don't know. It may have been questions that that fall under my many guidelines. But trust me, the universe never makes mistakes. Is that what you're trying to say? Are you trying to say this universe makes mistakes? I only met one alien. He was red. Matter of fact, this is one of my videos from when I was still in Baton Rouge, and matter of fact, it came to me during the DMT trip, kind of let me know like why they don't even show themselves, just how slow life is, you know. But yeah, there's so many layers to our existence. So many layers. That's why I could be having to say like 3D or in this realm, like it's like having to trying to put something with so many layers and so infinite, into word. That's the whole skill set of talking about it. Like, it's like, in essence, trying to put in essence, too, I guess that's the vibe of like the mystery schools, or why only so many sacred people could be the ones to, speak the tetragrammaton or the four-letter word, Yahweh Vahe, you know, like only a certain amount of preachers. Uh, in a lot of cases, go inside yourself, Cassandra. Like, how do you protect your energy when you live in a situation where you're around a lot of different energies? I mean, not for one, you always around. Well, I ain't gonna say you always, but I mean, this world is filled with, a lot of different energies. Now you could choose to try to hide from everybody, and that normally, may not work in essence. But what I was gonna say, like checking and see what you're doing to attract that situation, and see what you can do to possibly get yourself out of that situation. Like, because that would be almost like, all right, man, I'm at my mama's house and I'm dealing with all these different energies. But I can't leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not an impossible deed. Nothing is impossible. That's what be happening. Like, we be limiting ourselves. We we claim to be limitless in certain areas, and then when they come to breaking out of other areas, we limit ourselves. And as I say that ain't you know put myself in the same boat. We all guilty of that on our growth. But like, just to for the if you can't make a quick move or something like that, you know, keep you some selenite in your crib, selenite and tourmaline, and shungite. All right. Yeah, that's the whole thing with meditation. It's practice all with in all parts of our anything we doing new. You know what I'm saying? Like, we doing something different from the old habit. So it gotta be practice. Again in repetition. Matter of fact, back to programming subconscious. Somebody asked about earlier. Repetition. Constantly being in the act of doing it. That's William 3241. Yeah, I watched stuff before. I ain't watched it in a minute though. I'm pretty sure it got some deeper esoteric meaning. Alright, the guide to meditation. Lee Lee uh, Lee Raven dropping some information. Uh, I keep you could say a dream journal. I keep like just a kind of like just a little journal and essence just to jot down whether it be dreams or anything, certain little information. I usually keep 2 to 3 different tablets. One to jot down a lot of illustrations and information. Uh, and one to just kind of be more creative and be more of like a journal. Like, as a matter of fact, that's another way to program your subconscious. Taking note of times when you like say for instance, dealing with manifestation, like taking note of times when you did like line up with a big manifestation, and and writing it down and going back to proof, because as a thing the subconscious be needing proof to see, like, all right, well, show me that it's popping off like this for us. And you're like, shit, read the journal, motherfucker, this our handwrite. And say like, this our handwrite, but like, shit, that's what it is. Can't run from this information. No, I haven't met the Palladians, Nicole. I'm talking about only met one, as far as, like within my physical being, within this physical being. I don't get what you're saying, William. All right, Sunny the Aquarius, you have a blessed one as well. Brahma, blessings. Yeah. might be I feel like, say for instance, holding a dambarite or like a high vibrational crystal in the hand. You could actually like feel it. Like I tell people, and I make some people who knew the crystals laugh because they could see the difference. But like I give them like a high vibrational crystal and tell them hold it in their hand, and like, you know, like it'd be kind of hard for them to just hold it in place just like this. Like they gotta keep moving it, you know. And I be like, you gotta keep moving it because you're feeling the energy from it, and it's kind of making your hand a little jittery. That's why you can't hold, you know. But I guess, you know, maybe, you know, your vibration as you're meditating is kind of matching up uh, with the crystals. You know, I don't know. May That's just what I could speak on from my experience. I think I said petalite and danbarite. Uh, yeah, I used to listen to Capital Steez, definitely. All right, y'all. It is getting about that time, getting gaps and close it down, y'all. But remember, you know, spiritual growth is not a race. Not trying to race nobody. Not trying to, you know, we could gain insight from somebody sharing things from their experience. But, you know, it's not for us to try to compare our growth to theirs, you know. There's a difference from us learning from the information somebody sharing from their experience and trying to compare ourselves and trying to like, oh, I wonder if he astral traveling. And I should be astral traveling. I wonder if, you know, they doing this, then I should be a vegan too. Or I should be at this point by now because so and so was at that point. Like, you know, it's gonna create that type of vibe, you know. That's the egoic mind that's unhealthy to the spiritual growth, you know. But that's about it. Stand in the moment, stand in the now. Remember the past, you know. That's all thoughts, you know. You catch yourself like it's just not playing with the thoughts. The thoughts pass. Cause you could either some thoughts when you first start to meditate, yeah, some shit gonna pop up, you know. And another thing too, you don't have to be in lotus position. Like the lotus position is more so to make sure chi goes to the vital organs, you know, and having your back straight is making sure, you know, with your breathing techniques, you know, you're really getting that microcosmic orbit with your breathing and raising the kundalini properly. But to just get to a point of just clearing your mind, like you could just sit down in a chair or lay down in the bed, like start. And I ain't say lay down in the bed because you might get too comfortable, but you know, Like, get as comfortable as possible without you necessarily falling asleep, and just let your thoughts roll. 'Cause you don't want to have your body, you just want to sit there. Because a lot of people don't realize how much they just cannot sit still. Like, they just allergic to, that's all that Ritalin and all that shit they done pumped in either, us or parents or grandparents or whoever. Got us full of all kind of shit. We some, we some whole other creatures. Blessings, and prosperity. I can hear it in my voice. I'm ready to. Yeah, matter of fact, it is like sitting still is, and two, on some deeper psychological shit, people having to sit with themselves, you know, still running away from some shit that you should have faced. That's why I'm trying to, not trying to. That's why I'm making sure I create my playlist on this channel, like and slice it as thin as possible, so I could just kind of have everybody directed to what they looking for. Cause you know, at this point I got like over 1,000 videos, you know, and with a lot of things too, I want to, again, some things I do know that, all right, I should be like updating, on the subject matter, because, I done grew and, may have like a more polished perspective and stuff like that, whatever, but, excuse me, for the most part, a lot of, old vids that have a lot of things. Well, I even looked at something and was like, damn, that vibe of trying to be, again, I be having to check myself. That's why I be speaking on it, like, trying to climb the top of the mountain, or aim either Sagittarius trying to aim that arrow high, or Capricorn trying to climb the top of the mountain, but trying to be the best, and kind of, one is kind of extremely optimistic, and one energy is like very, very hard on itself. Let's just say that, on a disciplinary vibe, with Saturn. So, kind of override myself. But blessings, y'all. I appreciate the no love and support as always. Uh, Universal Frequencies on Instagram. If y'all on Instagram, uh, matter of fact, if you like the videos, hit the like button, and also, if you feel any other videos beneficial in some way, form of fashion, uh, do have donation links. Matter of fact, I be saying that. I be catching myself with that bullshit. Like, because sometimes we have like a monotonish way of saying shit. But, but like, not just, I mean, supporting, epic lifestyle, just the, 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 the brand, the growth of what I'm doing, all that. Got the link underneath the videos, and if you're looking at it on the desktop, it is, I think it's on this side. It's on the top, on the top right side. If you're looking at your screen, next to like the Instagram links and the other social media links. But, you know, I appreciate everything. I appreciate every bumbleclot team. I just did that because I saw cheat lanes. Yeah, blessings, y'all. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful night. Peace out.